Right, hello everyone, welcome back. This is Simplefarmer 78 and today I'm here to make a video on the crop rotation planner and talk a little bit how it works. So let's get started. I try and keep my videos relatively short. If you do enjoy or find them useful, please like, comment and subscribe. And if there's also any future videos that you would like to see, again leave it in the comments box and I'll get round to doing it. Right, we're here at Shamrock Valley, which is the farm I use, and let's get started. Right, you need your field information on, which is in your main settings menu. So make sure that's on, and then what we do, we run into the field, and the bit of information we need to start this process is the previous right at the bottom and the before previous. So this is most important because we need this to put into our planner. We can see, and obviously at the bottom there it shows that it's corn in the field currently. So we'll bring up the seasons menu and go to your planner. So we're going to do this field on planner A. So we had a cereal crop was before previous, and then a oilseed crop was the previous one. So at this point it doesn't matter whether we use, as I flick through, the sunflowers or the canola on the oilseed subtitle, or whether we use wheat, barley or oats. It's all the same. It's absolutely fine. The only time that becomes slightly different is with corn, because that's again a cereal crop but on its own category. We'll look at that a bit later on. And then we have corn, funny enough, in the field right now. So that's basically what this field has done for the last 3 seasons. So we're on year 3 with the corn. Now what I will be doing with this field next year, because you can see the numbers currently, what that represents, if we go from corn back to wheat on year 4, so we've done wheat year 1, sunflowers year 2, corn year 3 and wheat year 4, we will now only get a 95% yield on the wheat every time. So, which isn't bad to be honest, but I like my numbers to be 100% plus. So what I will do is leave it fallow next year. So the 4th season, this particular field group will become fallow. And what that means is, if you are also playing with periodic ploughing on and lime required on, every 3rd harvest you have to do ploughing and lime anyway. So what I should do is, when my field is laying fallow, I shall plough it up, throw lime in it and just leave it alone. Another interesting thing to bring up is, in the base game, after you plant corn, potatoes, sugar beets and I believe sugar cane, you must plough afterwards, otherwise you have I think it's a 15% deficit anyway. So it's always worth knowing, hence why the corn will always be at the end of my cycles. That way I've done the ploughing anyway, because in between I will just cultivate. These numbers also are dependent on you covering all fertiliser stages and reducing any weeds, because if you don't do that then obviously you're being penalised anyway. So just bear that in mind. Try and keep everything fully up to date. So we've now we have set up a 4-year rotation planner for that particular field, and that's that. It's that simple really. Let's have a little look. So we are, like I say, we're in field 7, and you can see it's the same crop as in field 5. So they are now, that little square there is rotation planner A. As you can guess from the other 4 fields I own, you've got field 1 and 4 on another rotation planner, and 2 and 3 again would be another rotation planner. So if we just go and look at another field just to cover it, we'll look at this one, field 2. Run inside, and this is an oil seed and then a cereal, so that's the opposite to what we've just done. So this one was a oil seed, which will be either of those 2 to start with, and then a cereal crop, and it currently has canola growing in it. So this is what the current situation of it is, and then obviously we'd whack in a fallow. So again now we are getting a yield of plus 100% on every harvest. So I mean, we don't have to have fallow, you could put a wheat in there, and again still your numbers are very good and over 100%. But in between that canola and the wheat, you must do the lime and ploughing. It's entirely up to you as how you want to do it. If you want to reset the numbers, because if you look at this now, if we put the fallow in on planner B, we've got canola, wheat, canola, fallow, we've got 100.08% at the top. Now interestingly enough, if you went for another fallow, see how the numbers suddenly jumped. You're now 120% yield every time, because it actually takes 2 fallow seasons to reset a field to 0. So 2 fallow seasons, one after the other, will reset a field to 0. And if that's the case, whatever you plant in that next year will be at 120%. Right, so if we go down planner B, we've got corn year 1, wheat year 2, canola year 3, fallow 4 and 5, and in year 6 when we're back up to the top, 120%. So it's 2 fallows to get back to 120%. It is worth remembering that. So just try and clear that up. Right, now for this actual field, obviously what we had was, this is what I've got in it at the moment. I need to delete these two, because this is how my field's set up at the moment. Yes, it's not ideal, but this is quite a new game to me, and I was just trying to get a good yield on my 3rd year, because it will actually be fallow next year, and then I will go into what I'm actually going to do with the field. The canola this year was purely to get some money. But what is actually going to happen with this field is we are going to go fallow there, and then I will be sowing the following year soybeans. So, and the reason that will be the rotation planner for that group is quite simply that on my canola I will get 120% yield. Again on the wheat the exact same, because they like following each other for some reason. And then I will go fallow on the 3rd year, and then soybeans on the 4th. Now the reason I do that is because I play 3-day seasons and I don't use this map online. My fallow, so we got year 1 we have got wheat on one group, canola on the other. Year 2 we've got sunflowers on one group and wheat on the other group. And year 3 I've got a group of corn, but then my other group of fields will be again fallow. And this is simply so that not all of my fields are going fallow at the same time. So if we then whip over to the other group, which will be, oh, too far away, back to the lorry. Turn around, field 3, because my next group, which obviously we need to go, oh no, we do need to go to the other one, field 1, sorry, that's my mistake. This again is a cereal and oilseed, but I'm using a different type of crop in it. Now be careful when you try and look for your field info and get the previous and before previous, because if I just go forward a bit here, there you go, can you see now my previous is fallow. If I back up, it's oilseed, because what happened there is last season this patch of ground we're looking at right now didn't germinate. So just make sure you're running the field far enough to get the true history of the field when you set it up, because otherwise your numbers won't be correct to what the game's actually producing. That's it really. So we've got cereal oilseed, this one. So we'll go again to this one with cereal oilseed, exactly the same setup as the first one. But obviously I'm using different crops this time, because in this field this time I am growing oats. So, but again, it's the same. The oilseed and cereal crops will follow each other absolutely fine, no problem at all. The only time you lose a bit is when you go to year 4 in this case. But what I will be doing again is having another fallow year, and I will probably move it not to the canola one but somewhere. So work along the lines, basically for your years, work along from left to right, like if you want to have the planter all in the same line, and then plan your years forwards going down the planter. And that's it really. I hope this video is helpful and not too confusing, and that is all it is. Right, this is Simplefarmer 78, and I thank you very much for watching. Like I say, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.